Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Christian. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night, good day. Wherever you are, whenever you're seeing this, I hope you are good. So guys, I haven't talked to y'all in about a month. I had a birthday celebration that lasted about 2 weeks. Y'all know how we do. I turned 30, okay, and had a really great beautiful B-Day. If you saw the B-Day looks, cheers to you. If you didn't, here's a little recap of the B-Day looks and the B-Day tea. I just, had a really good time. I've been enjoying, I guess, my break away from making content, I guess, but I don't feel like I've really been on a break because I've been very focused on locking in into other areas of my life. I feel like a lot of different things has changed. A lot of things have changed. And, I feel good about these things that have changed, but also I am adjusting to a new life, I guess. I'm adjusting to a new life, to a new plan, to new goals, to new everything. It's a lot of new things, but I feel really good about it. I hope you guys have been feeling good as well. And surprise, I mean, is it really a surprise? You guys already see the title of this video. I'm going to be doing a tarot reading today. And I have not done a tarot reading in about a year. Now, I did do a tarot reading a few days ago for one of my clients. My clients that I have that are consistent in working with me, if I see it's someone's birthday, I always offer them a free spread. So I did this free spread with tarot cards, and I don't know. I just have been feeling called to get back into using tarot, and I didn't really understand why, but I think the types of messages that I want to relay, the types of messages that I want to hear from myself, because you guys know when I do readings, it's not just about what y'all need, it's about what I need too. I get a lot from the readings that I do for you guys. So it's about what we need as a collective. And for whatever reason, honey, I'm feeling really led back to using tarot cards, and more specifically, one deck. So I am on the quest for one deck that will be the deck that I use. I may have a couple of different versions of this deck. I may buy 2 or 3 versions of the same deck so it doesn't get too worn, but I really would like to have one tool that I can use. So we're going to be diving into the Everyday Enchantment Tarot. This is my first ever tarot deck that I got when I started reading tarot in 2020, in May, I believe, of 2020. I got this deck, and I have not really used her in a really long time because I just haven't been reading tarot. I have not been reading tarot. As you guys know, I did a video about a year ago kind of explaining why I wasn't doing tarot anymore. And I'm just gonna get all the reversals out of here, so we're not gonna read any reversals in this message. I don't really have a theme for the message that we're gonna get in today. I kind of just want to pull some cards and just kind of take some time to reconnect with y'all because it's been a minute. And I guess I kind of want to update you guys on just what I've been feeling and what I've been thinking. I feel like I've been going through it. I feel like I've been going through it in a good sense, I guess, because I just feel new. I feel like the things that I've been thinking and discovering and understanding and stepping into, it's just been new. And I am someone that is comfortable with newness, but it comes at a cost. Like this new season has really humbled me. There are things that I'm not able to do that I was once able to do very easily because of this new season that I'm in. There are certain... I've just been faced with a lot of different challenges that have kind of proved to me what I'm made of. And that's a good thing, to know your strength and know what you're capable of. But it can also be very jarring because as you're in it, you're in those situations, you're in those moments. Life isn't letting up. So you're just in it, you're facing it, and it can be a lot. It could be very overwhelming. It could be very stressful. It could even be scary. It could even feel like am I about to die? You know, like, because we know spiritual awakenings can feel like something bad is about to happen. Like, oh my God, what is happening? What is happening? What is happening? It feels like you're just waiting and waiting for something bad to happen. But I think what our spirit perceives as bad is not always bad. You know, also, I've been on my meds, my antidepressants, and my anti-anxiety medication. I've been on those for a year. So I just feel like I'm in a completely different space that I was in last year. Around this time, I feel like there's a lot of different things that have changed, and I feel good about the things that have changed. But I also feel so grown up, and that just is the lamest thing to me. Like, I hate being an adult. I hate realizing the practical truths of the world. You know, me and all of my friends, all of the people that I have in my life have been, you know, going through a lot of ups and downs, a lot of revelations, a lot of big changes and transformation, you know, realizing certain things about ourselves and, you know, talking to ourselves a different way and having to look within in a different way that maybe we're not used to. But, you know, these things are things that are non-negotiable, you know, and I feel good about rising to the challenge. But girl, it has been strenuous, okay? Rising to the challenge has been a workout, a spiritual workout for sure. But I feel good because I feel like I'm being led down the right path, and we're about to see where we're all being led with this incredible message. So I hope you guys are ready to get into it. We're going to be doing the first tarot reading here since about a year ago. It's been a little over a year now, but let's go ahead and get into it. This is my everyday enchantment tarot. She's the first deck I've ever used. We have cards popping out already. This is the first deck I've ever used, the first deck I ever got. And, you know, when I got this deck, look, I'm messing it up with reversals already. It's fine. I just won't read any reversals. It's okay. Yeah, you know, when I first got this deck, I didn't know anything about my beliefs. Not my beliefs. I always knew my beliefs. Hello, Lord. I didn't know anything about my gifts. I didn't know anything about my psychic ability. I didn't know how I was able to read these cards. I just knew people was asking me stuff. I was reading the cards and it was crying. You know, the tea was just teaing. I just knew that. But that's all I really knew. And it's been 5 years. This is my 5th year. It's been past my 5th year now because we're in basically almost in September. But this deck in particular was really a gateway for me to step beyond my own understanding, beyond my own fears and my own doubts. And it's been really, really beautiful. And I am excited to, you know, share this first message with y'all. So enough yapping. Let's just go ahead and get into it. So we have Justice. This is the first card that we have. And you guys know the Everyday Enchantment Tarot does not play, okay? So prepare for a drag to end all drags. Prepare for a drag to end all drags. And these cards are huge. These cards are not easy to shuffle. They're not easy to use. You do not want to play. Also, since I am starting back using my tarot cards, I thought it would be fun to offer some donation-based readings, which is what I was doing when I very first started doing tarot readings. I was offering donation-based readings. I believe the minimum was like $10 or something like that. And I was doing readings for people. So I want to get back into offering those donation-based readings. I'm going to have a flyer on here somewhere that explains the layout of the readings. I'm going to be offering those probably for the whole week. I am not going to be available to send readings on Saturday and Sunday, but back on Monday, I will be back at it. So if you want your reading today, it's Friday, get you one. If you want one next week, get you one, get into it. I don't know when I'm going to bring these donation-based readings back, but it'll be a tarot reading, a donation-based tarot reading. But I'm very excited to add this tool back into my work. So let's go ahead and get into it. And don't mind, I hope y'all don't see little dust and stuff flying around because, I mean, these cards have been sitting. But let's go ahead and get into it. So our first 3 cards, we have Justice. We have the Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles. And we also have the Hermit. I don't know how long this reading is going to be or how many cards I'm going to pull. So let's just rock with it. You know, this Justice energy is all about finding balance. This is about restoring order. It's about, bringing peace to spaces where there is conflict. Also, we have this Queen of Pentacles energy. We know this Queen of Pentacles is all about abundance. It's about, creating habits of abundance that will pass along to other people that are around you, creating an energy of abundance, even, walking with abundance, walking with prosperity, having that in your mind, having that in your energy. Also, we have the Hermit as well. So I feel like this is a very important message about, how we take care of ourselves, how we pour into ourselves, how we make sure that we're okay at the end of a long, long, long day. When we are stressed and confused and frustrated and our back is against the wall and we're not sure how to move, we're not sure what to do, we're not sure how to even answer to ourselves, we're not sure if we know what we need, we're not sure how we should connect with ourselves. It's difficult to be the peacemaker. It's also difficult to do those things when it's your job to also maintain the abundance and the prosperity. It's one thing to give people advice and to have those conversations with them and even speak up for yourself on your own behalf, encourage other people to stand up for their own boundaries. That's one thing. But it's another thing to have to maintain an energy that allows you to attract money, abundance, networking, opportunities. Those are two different energies. But I feel both of those energies are very, very powerful and exhausting to maintain. But I feel like we're trying to cultivate abundance very, very strongly. We want abundance. We want fruitfulness in our lives. But also there's a lot of spaces where we're being called to maintain the peace and the order. And we may have to question and say, how can I find the balance here? How can I protect myself, protect my peace, make sure that the things around me are giving me what I need, stand up for who I want to stand up for, be there for who I want to be there for. How can I do that, but also pour into myself at the end of the day? Am I able to recoup my energy? Am I able to recoup, how I feel, what I want, how I move? Am I able to come back to me? Or am I in a space where I've gotten too far away from who I am? I've gotten too far away from what I want. And I think that's something to really be mindful of because, when we are in our hermit mode, which we'll all end up in after you've given and given and given, the hermit mode should be a space of rejuvenation. It should be a space of a clean start. It should be a space where we're feeling better, we're looking better, we know where we're going, we know what we want. And that's how we want to feel, that's how we want to move. And we don't want to get into the hermit space and feel depression and sadness and frustration. So let's pull some more cards, just kind of digging deeper into that hermit. We have the Wheel of Fortune. I feel like, the relationship that we have with ourselves is more important right now than what we attract and being a magnet for yada, yada, yada. Like, how you feel about you is really your magnet. It's not the manifestation, it's not the scripting, it's not the writing, it's not the candle work, it's not any of that. How you feel about you, how you take care of you, how you refurbish your energy and your vitality at the end of the day, that kind of sets the bar for what we get. So if you're tired of being that peacemaker that's always drained, if you're tired of handling everybody's problems and being there for everybody, how can you talk to yourself in a way that makes sure you don't keep doing that? Do you constantly tell yourself, or this is my job, this is my position, this is what I'm supposed to do, this is how I have to show up for people? Have you convinced yourself that this cycle of being everybody's person, manifesting some things for yourself, feeling really good, but then feeling drained, feeling resentful, feeling disappointed, how do you find that cycle works for you? Because then you get distracted in your grief of what you've experienced, of what you don't have, because somebody else needs something. So you don't ever get to feel the end of that hermit mode because you're constantly being pulled out of hermit mode to ask questions, to answer questions, to take care of people, to support people, to be the mom, the father, the husband, the wife, the partner, the friend, the coworker, the leader, the teacher, the whoever. You're constantly being called to be this. Do you only take time for yourself when no one needs anything anymore? Or do you take time for yourself when you need it? When you know that you can do what you need to do in those moments to give yourself what you need and feel better and move forward? Also with the Wheel of Fortune, this is about taking a new path, taking a new journey that will elevate how you're feeling, that will just show you the way, that will make you feel comfortable, that will make you feel confident. The Wheel of Fortune is about trying something different, taking a new approach, and even having to leave some things behind. I think that even though we don't care, or we say we don't care about how people feel, there still is a part of us that wants to see the people around us happy. And if we can contribute to that, we're going to. And I don't think there's anything wrong with feeling that and acting on that. But there is something wrong with knowing what you need and putting it on the back burner. And I feel like it could be easy for us to take care of others. It could be easier for us to hear other people's problems. But when it comes to us, we just feel so down and so dark and so sad and so alone and so isolated. It's easy to feel like they don't give a fuck about me. I just gave all of this and this, and look where the fuck I'm sitting by my motherfucking self, That's what this Hermit energy is giving me. Like, this person is looking so lost. They're looking so dazed and confused. They're just looking like, what do I have to show for all of this work that I've been doing? I feel exhausted. I feel drained. I put in this, and this. What do I have to show for it? How do I feel? Like, who's there for me? How do I feel about myself? Do I have the energy that I need to take on this Wheel of Fortune? Do I or don't I? And for some of us, we may not. For some of us, we get to the point and we're like, whoa, I don't have what I need to move forward. We also have the Moon. The Moon, I love this card because this card is about confusion from the enemy, okay? And why I say confusion from the enemy is because we have our intuition, we have God's guidance, we have signs, we have dreams, we have all of these things that can point us to the direction that we're supposed to go. And we are more in tune to those things. But obviously you're here, you're tapped in, right? You want to know the messages, you want to know the tea. We're more tuned into those things. So when we feel lost, it's more than just feeling lost, like when everybody else feels lost, the people that are outside of, their spiritual work. When we feel lost, we also feel disappointed in ourselves. We also feel like, what am I doing wrong? Why don't I know the answer? It's one thing to be like, oh, I don't know it. Oh, well, I don't know it. It's another thing to feel like, I don't know it. What's wrong with me? Because I don't know it. I don't know it. What's my problem? Like, I don't know it and why. It's so frustrating to not know what you need when you've just taken care of everybody else and handle all of this practical bullshit that really don't mean nothing at the end of the day. Because at the end of the day, you're feeling fucked up with yourself. You're not feeling happy. You're not feeling secure. You're not feeling like you have all the answers. And feeling like you have all the answers is honestly more important than having all the answers. When you feel like even when you feel secure and I don't know right now, but I will know, that brings a different type of power, a different type of energy, a different type of mindset, a different type of guidance that will lead you to where you need to be, instead of feeling like, I don't know what the fuck is wrong with me. I don't know what's my problem. And it's easy to feel like that when you see yourself solve everybody's problems and issues, because you get to a point and you're like, well, I know what they need. I know what they need. I know what they need. What can I do about it? What can I do about it? How can I move forward? How can I step into a space where I feel good and I feel like I know what I'm supposed to be doing? We also have the Ace of Pentacles. Let's pull one more card and keep going with this tea. I hope you guys have been doing good. I would love to see an update from everybody. I mean, if you're always here, then give me an update. Let me know what's been going on. Let me know what's been going on with your relationships. Did you guys start school? How is school going for you? I would love to see updates from you guys because I feel like we haven't talked in a long time. So leave me an update in the comment section. Of course, I want to know how you feel about this reading, but I also want to know what's been going on with y'all. So let's keep going through this. I showed you guys the Nine of Swords. I showed y'all the Ace of Pentacles. We also have Judgment. So let's keep getting into this. With the Nine of Pentacles, the Nine of Swords, maybe we'll pull the Nine of Pentacles, and we know that's all about financial independence and living a life of luxury. But with this Nine of Swords, this is about stress, anxiety, frustration, pain, not being able to sleep, feeling like you're up all night, just feeling confused and feeling like your back is against the wall. But this clock in the back, the time is 10:10, and we know that 9 comes before 10. We can all count, and we know that 10 talks about the ending of something, and 9 talks about stepping into that ending, stepping into that conclusion, tying up those loose ends. So I feel like, as bad as things are, as bad as we may feel when we're feeling confused and we're feeling like, what the fuck, how am I able to do this for these people and do this for this job and do this for this? But when it comes to me and hearing from God and knowing what I need to do, I'm clueless. How has this happened? How has this happened? Where am I? How did I get here? You know, when we feel that, it's a different type of pain. It's a different type of, you know, hopelessness. It's a different type of feeling like I'm going to feel like this forever, you know? And I don't think we should feel like that, because we're not going to feel like it forever. But it's such a big feeling that we have because we're really neglecting ourselves without realizing it. You know, when you distract yourself from what you need to do for you, for everybody else, you are quite literally neglecting yourself. You're missing the chance to take care of you, to listen to you, to pour into you, to give yourself what you need. And that is so invaluable. You know, the best thing that we can do for ourselves is to be there for us. You know, that's the best thing that you can do for you, is be there for you, is to encourage you, is to speak life over you, and to say to yourself, I'm good, I'm okay. Like, look at what I've done for everybody else. Of course I can do this for myself. Like, don't see yourself as an uncharted island that you've never discovered. You know, we discover so much of ourselves when we're helping people. I feel like there's a big disconnect, that we've really missed the mark. It's like we can't see the forest for the trees. We can't see all that we are because of the little things that we're picking up on, you know? Also with this Ace of Pentacles, you know, this is about getting to work. You know, this is about being focused, getting to work, understanding what we need to do. I would love to see how we're going to go from that 9 of Swords to being in that Ace of Pentacles place. This is about kind of building that foundation. And I think that's where we need the help. We need the help getting from that point of stress to that point of creation. Because a lot of times that cycle is interrupted because we have to create, we have to pay our bills, we have to answer the phone, we have to do this, you know, whether we feel like we have to, or whether we actually have those responsibilities and obligations, we have to show up sometimes, and that can interrupt us connecting with ourselves, talking to ourselves, coaching ourselves through some very, very hard moments. So I'm gonna pull some cards to kind of bridge the gap between that 9 of Swords and that Ace of Pentacles, to see what's going on there and how we can kind of connect there. So let's get into it. Let's bridge that gap before we get into that Judgment. So we have the 3 of Wands, teamwork. Don't try to do it alone. And I think it's easy to feel like you want to do things alone because of people that you've had around you. You've just been helping them out, right? But you have to find people that can help you on your journey. You have to find people that can say, hey, you hold the map, I'm gonna hold the water, you hold this, I'm gonna hold the lights, I'm gonna hold the snacks. Like, you have to find people that want to be an active participant in your life and on your journey. You know, you have to find people that say, oh, what we doing? Okay, bet. Instead of people that's like, what we doing? And they're just sitting there waiting for you to give them all the answers. How many relationships in your life do you have like that? You know, how many relationships do you have where you can say, hey, y'all, this is what we're about to start working on. And people are like, okay, period. Let me take this off your hands. Let me take this off your hands. Can you really delegate your life tasks and your stresses to other people? And of course, we can't say, oh, hey, can you pay my bills? Hey, can you call my boss? Hey, can you do this assignment for me? We can't delegate in that way, but we could say, hey, I need help. Hey, I need motivation. Hey, I need support. So we don't have to sit in the room and be like, fuck. Who's going to help me? Who's going to support me? Who's going to lift me up now that I feel like this? Ain't nobody here for me. Everybody don't give a damn. Nobody give a damn about me. You know, you want to stop yourself from feeling that way and believing that and really feeling that in your bones, because I feel like we've been conditioned to believe those things after feeling it for so long. And that's not the truth. We just have to get a better team of people that can love us, support us, and lead us forward. Also, we have that Ace of Pentacles. Let's pull one more card to kind of keep bridging that gap and seeing something else that can help us get from that 9 of Swords to that Ace of Pentacles. Of course, we want to tap back into teamwork. We also have the Knight of Wands. So Once you feel the energy that you feel, go for it. You know, this card is just about taking action. It's about going balls to the wall. It's about not holding back nothing. It's about moving forward with your talents, with your creativity, with the things that you use to help everybody else and pour into everybody else and coach everybody else. You know, it's about saying, you know, like, I have the tools. Why am I sitting here scared and feeling inadequate and feeling like I don't know what to do? Bro, I have the tools. I have all the tools I need. I have everything I need to be a success and continue to walk into success and stand in success. I have everything I need and then some, you know. So I feel like realizing what you need gives you that focus and that stability in your spirit to really, really get dedicated to that new beginning. And then let's get into Judgment. We pulled our Judgment after our Ace of Pentacles. This is all about figuring what you want to do. So what you want to do, you know, how serious is it to you? How dedicated are you to having a new beginning, a new start, a new mindset, a new energy? You know, are you ready for that? Is it something that you're not willing to miss? Is it something that you're not willing to forfeit? Or are you still being tempted by those things? Is it tempting to you to feel like nobody will ever love you how you need to be loved? Do you feel like you're reserving something special for yourself, feeling like you're on this island alone? And I've always been the person that's kind of felt like that. You know, I've always felt like at the end of the day, bitch, I'm going to be on my own. You know, like you come in the world alone, you're going to die alone. Even if you got people in your life, at the end of the day, it's going to be you by yourself. You know, I felt like that on and off throughout my life. And I think when you really believe that, even if it's your shadow that believes it or your inner child that believes it, you handle relationships differently and you accept loneliness and despair easily because you feel like it's just a part of the process instead of being like, nope, this isn't my reality. I have support. You know, it's easier to just accept, oh, well, I guess this is what it is, because you've been telling yourself that maybe you're too complex for people to be there for you, or what you have going on is too dark for people to support you, or, you know, people will never love you or accept you if they know the fullness of what you're experiencing. And that's not the truth. You know, there's so many people that receive unconditional love and they put people in their life through all kinds of different things. You know, I think the thing that's very important to remember is that love looks like a lot of different things. And I think the biggest component of love is how it makes you feel about yourself. I think that's how you really know when love is unconditional. Do you feel like you have to perform for the love in your life? I think we feel like if I can't be who I need to be and be on it, the people in my life won't want me. If I have to cry to them and say I need help, but I'm always their helper, they won't want me. They'll judge me. They'll feel some type of way. So I have to hold this in and feel some type of way about myself instead of letting myself get the love that's readily available for me. So this judgment is a huge decision, a huge choice that we have to make to lean into what we know we're supposed to have, because there's a part of us that knows that we're not happy receiving less, or we're not happy believing that we should receive less. Whether you are getting what you need or whether you have in your head that nobody's there for you, even though you have resources, whatever it is, there's something that's telling us that it's okay to not feel our best. It's okay to feel alone. It's okay to feel ostracized. It's okay to feel like nobody will ever understand. And it's never okay to feel like that. It's never been okay to feel that way. You never want to feel that way. You never want to tell yourself or coach yourself that that's an acceptable way to feel, because it ain't. You know, it's not fair to you to feel that way. It's not fair to you to believe that that is true. And it's so important that we establish a level of fairness with ourselves first, because once you do that, the people in your life will want more from you than what they can just take and take. They'll show up wanting to give because they see how you present yourself as someone that can receive love and support as well. It's one thing to give a lot of love and support, but we also have to be able to receive love in a very strong and beautiful way. I'm going to pull a few more cards to just kind of wrap us up. I really feel like I can get into this reading and never stop. I may have to film another one very soon, but let's just keep going into this and see where we land, and I'll see where I feel called to end the message. But I hope you guys are enjoying this. We have the 10 of Pentacles here. The 10 of Pentacles. Beautiful, beautiful. With the Ace of Pentacles and the Ten of Pentacles, this talks about generational wealth, happiness, celebration, having everything that you need, feeling like your cup runneth over, okay? And we have the Ace and the 10. So we are getting started with this journey, and then we have the end of the journey. We have the 10 of Pentacles, crossing that threshold, feeling abundant, seeing the things that we've known we've been needing to take in and knowing that it's ours. We also have the King of Cups. The King of Cups, which I love. This is the ultimate energy of protection, provider, emotional support, emotional intelligence. This is about connecting with people that protect, provide, show up for you, give you what you need, allow you to have a safe space where you can crumble and they'll build you back up. They won't make you feel any type of way. Basically, the love you give to everybody else. I also feel like when you're able to receive the right type of love, your love is so much more powerful when you're able to connect with people. So I definitely feel like there's some beautiful, beautiful love that we're stepping into. That emotional intelligence is the most important thing, because people that can pick up on what you're experiencing, people that can know, or people that can help lead you to different discoveries is invaluable. It's super, super important to have people like that in your life so you can continue to go from one space to the next and to the next and to the next. That's what we need. That's what we need to hold close. That's what we need to remember. That's what we need to prioritize over everything. That's what we need to prioritize, stepping into that love. And we also have the Six of Blades. I guess we can wrap up with the Six of Swords. The Six of Swords. So the Six of Swords is about leaving behind baggage, pain, frustration, and taking on a new journey forward. And also just to lift your spirits even more. Look at this beautiful team. The team that helps you move forward is the same team that helps you leave the baggage behind. People aren't just there to lift you up and make you feel good. They're also there to help you let go, really let go. Like the Three of Wands is kind of like, oh, okay, let's plan this party. Let's start this business page. Let's network. But the Six of Blades is like, let's pray together. Let's have a vent session. Let's release. Let's really talk about what's going on underneath the scenes. And maybe we need to know that we can have both of those things. Like the people in your life, they don't just want to go on the fun journeys. They also want to support you through the rough stuff. They want to support you through moving forward when maybe you didn't think you could move forward. Also on the Six of Blades, they're ice skating, so I feel like this is also reminiscent of being cautious as we're moving forward. You do not want to let yourself easily slip back into old habits and old thinking and old patterns. You want to be very specific with how you move forward in your healing. And you don't want to allow yourself to start to settle back into, oh, well, it's okay. Oh, well, what's the big deal? Oh, well, it is what it is. It's fine. It's not that big of a deal. Who cares? I don't need to say anything about this. You're on thin ice, Buki. And it's so easy for that part of your brain to say, see, of course they don't care. Like how many times have we had something wrong with us and we were like, they don't give a fuck. And we never said anything about it. And then we were like, see, they don't give a fuck. And we didn't even give them a chance to show up for us or connect with us. That happens more often than not. So I think in this space, we really, really need to hold ourselves close. We really need to trust our energy, trust our minds. We need to know that we can always elevate, always go higher, always step into new spaces, and just continue to grow and evolve. So I feel like this message as a whole is about how we can end our suffering. If you're a leader, if you're the type of person, like I mentioned, the conflict resolver, the leader, the helper, the teacher, the mom, friend, the friend where, people may second guess telling you what they really have going on because they don't want you to, judge them or what have you, because people know the standard that you hold for yourself, whatever. If you're that type of person, this is about ending your suffering. This is about ending the feeling of nobody will ever be able to be for me what I can be for other people. And I felt that so deeply that the love, the support, the things that I give, I might not ever receive. But it's okay. I'll just keep giving it. Like, no, it's not okay. because you condition yourself to always accept less, and you condition yourself to think it's okay to accept less. And that's dangerous, because a lot of times we'll meet people that will say, why are you expecting me to do that? Why the fuck would you think I would do that? And then you tell yourself, why would they do that? I should be okay accepting this. So it always starts with us, and how we think and how we feel, and how we coach ourselves to love ourselves and see ourselves. And I think that as we step into eclipse season, as we're on the precipice of eclipse season, it's so important to remember that, and to trust that, and to allow that to be something that just really transforms us. Like, take advantage of this eclipse season that's coming up. The last thing that you want to do is let seasonal depression get your ass. It's coming this year. Like, the seasonal depression is coming like nobody's business. I already feel it in my bones. I know it's coming, because I feel like we're all so much more sensitive. Like, we're cracked open, we're bare, we're not in a space where we can fake it and act hard. Like, those days are gone. Like, the space that we're in now, we have to answer that call coming from inside the house that's saying, I'm not okay, and I need more. And when you answer that, everything looks differently and feels differently. And I think that is very important and very key. So yes, guys, thank you for being here and hanging in there for my first tarot reading in a year. I loved this message. I hope you guys loved it as well. I am looking forward to connecting with you guys more in different ways, and just continuing to grow with you guys, one step at a time. So yes, I appreciate y'all. I thank you guys for being here. If you would like to get a donation-based tarot reading, which I'm super excited to offer, the reading will be based on how much you send. So I'll probably do a simple 3-card spread for the lower end of the donations. And if you end up sending more, you'll get an extra card, an extra spread, different things like that. So yes, I'm excited to just take a different approach to my messages. This may be the deck that I end up using. I told you guys that I want to find one deck to use. I really mean that. I may use this deck. If you guys have other tarot deck recommendations, then please let me know. As always, I'm just excited. I always say that I'm excited for what we're going to do next, because I never know what we're going to do next. I'm just waiting to see, just like y'all. But I appreciate you guys more than you know. I thank you guys for being here. And of course, as always, I'm excited to see what we do next. So thank you guys. I love y'all. And I will see you guys next time. Bye, guys. Bless.